Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't have no school system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's wrong with like I used to hear Umar Johnson talking about, you know, he want people to donate to get a school. All right. So you're gonna get a buy school. They're not gonna sell you a new school.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna sell you a rundown school that you're gonna have to spend more money to refurbish, right? So why not take money, buy land, build a school,
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna be cheaper, put all these black educated people in. And I'm not talking about the run of the mill. I'm not talking about the run of the mill teacher. I'm not talking about them. You get the run of the mill teacher and you send them back to school to get a doctrine. And then you bring all doctors and philosophers to teach from elementary up to high school. And then you put out great minds. Oh, that wouldn't work. Well, that's what New Zealand does.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You put a chef, you put a gourmet chef in that kitchen, and you serve them 3 gourmet meals to nurture their body while they in there. All this can happen. All this can happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if you start with retired teachers that's older that can teach other teachers how to be teachers, and you get a building, and you financially grow from there. You know, it's a plan. You got to have a plan. And I used to think like this when I was locked up, because it's like when I was on every unit that I was on, what no all that black on black violence, man, that was deaded. And it's people who will tell people like, nah, little man deaded that, and he was very persuasive on how he did it. You know, using the elders. Yo, man, we can't be against each other in this place. We have to kind of support each other, because every other race is together and the officers are together. Yep. So how we gonna be divided? You beefing with me because I'm from another side of town or the same place.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas and Houston beefing with each other. It was just a wild thing, and then we just deaded it, and we were stronger together.
Absolutely. Would you say you talked about those powerful leaders like your Fred Hamptons, your Malcolm X's, Umar Johnson? To me, I think he started off well, but I think he got lost somewhere in that process. I think he had the potential to fill those shoes. One of those leaders. Do you still support him, and did you donate to his school project at all, Umar Johnson?
No, I didn't donate to his school project because I didn't believe in it. Because I didn't believe in going to get a rundown school and do that when it was going to cost you more money if you could just build it. Sometimes this is what makes a great leader. This is what makes a great leader. Taking counsel. You have to be able to take counsel. In Islam, it's called mashura. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when you take mashura, you come in, you pour everything out of your cup. You sit your cup down and you let all the educated minds around you fill that cup up with different thoughts of what you is. It's your final decision. But now you have 15 different plans of people constantly putting more and more information in the glass for you to draw from. You know what I'm saying? And you can't find anybody that was a great leader in history that was on an island by himself. He had great counsel. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need. You have to have great counsel. Man, I would have got all the best minds together, and we would have argued in a room. We would have argued in the best manner in a room to get the project done. And it would have been up and running, because guess what? That project was going on for I don't know how many years. LeBron came in and dropped the school in no time. Why? Because he had better counsel.
Talk about the Breakfast Club and outlets who give platforms to somebody like Umar Johnson. Is that divisive, or how divisive is that to Black people? Because you talk about the mains of Black guys on a platform like the Breakfast Club, and then you hear Umar Johnson get on there, and although a great orator, very divisive if you got Black people, Black single women in particular, throwing money that they really don't have to a cause that may not come about anyway. How divisive is a Breakfast Club, or how do you feel about a Breakfast Club having him on the platform?
Man, I've never been on the Breakfast Club. I don't really, with all media, I understand it in the form of, it's three things I understand about media. One is entertaining. What the entertainment value to keep the sponsorships in everything going, the other is how responsible do I think they are in what they put out. Like Tom Joyner was really responsible on what he put out. Like, he vetted the things that he wanted to put out, even though it had entertainment value, but it was a show that had everything in right perspective and in the right proportion. You know what I'm saying? So it was a grown person show. It was a show that I could listen to with my kids, because it was a show with balance and wasn't no pieces out of place, if you understand what I'm saying, on that level. You know what I'm saying? So men were men, women were women, everything was in its natural perspective. So that's one angle of media that I listen to. And the next thing is, it's what the people want. And sometimes what the people want is not conducive to our well-being. Like, I give you a prime example. A lot of people look at Atlanta and say, oh, this is the Mecca of Black people. But Atlanta, as soon as they were opened up, nobody was thinking to say, don't go out there. And then they contracted 22, 23, 3,500 new cases of COVID. But in your mind, you was thinking somebody would say that's responsible, Tyler Perry, Tip, Mike, Big Mike, whoever would give a bullhorn and say, don't go out there. But then they in cars spinning around, shooting at each other, wilding. Do I think that's a media scam now? Because it is what it is. Some things that people put out there are just not conducive, and that's with media. That's with and sometimes we play into the propaganda of what people want us to be about. So I'm gonna bring this person on my show because this is a hot button. But but do you run your own show? So I can't really, that's the whole thing. I can't really point a finger at it, but who runs the show? Who's the program director? Who's the owner of the show? You know what I'm saying? So you can be the face. You can be the face. Like in my neighborhood, it's like this. You have this historically Black community, right? And then some of the houses are older because it's owned by older people, right? So then then the city gives a contract to a Black developer. He starts developing houses in this community. So it's like, and then they raise the taxes They raise the taxes. So they take these old homes. Now you got these $400,000 homes, $300,000 homes next to these homes that's been there since the 60s, the 50s. So you get priced out of your community under blackface, but with the hidden hand of another hue. You know what I'm saying? It looks good that a black developer has this contract, but they know what they doing because they gonna tax you out of the neighborhood. But they came to you under blackface. You know, and I think that sometimes that's what happens.
So the personalities, I won't put their names out there, we obviously know them, of the Breakfast Club were pawns to a bigger piece to a puzzle, is what you're saying.
I don't think they run themselves. I don't think they run the network.
Well, I know they don't. They definitely don't.
so that's the whole thing. It's like, yo, you go. This is what people do. No, we want to do this, but you go out there and you do it. You know what I'm saying? And we give you a big enough check, you'll do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I know the first thing they'd say was, you know, Ali said something. Then what I'm saying is that a lot of times if you don't run the source, it's decision that you can't make. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're willing to walk out on the source. Is what I'm saying. Rich Media, Tom is different. He has a stake in Rich Media. So when you have some power to say what you can and you cannot do. As a comic, I don't work for nobody. And it took me to tell other comics that have managers, that have agencies, you know what I'm saying? Well, I can't do this because of my agency. You don't work for your agency. You don't work for your management. Your agency works for you. Your management works for you. You know what I'm saying? They can let you go and you can fire them. You have more power over your life. Do you get the same thing? Depends on how hard you work, because you worked hard for somebody to come to you and say, hey, we want to help you more. You know what I'm saying? It's a power struggle. It's a power struggle amongst who we are. But just think, I work in a business that is probably 3 black-owned comedy clubs in the entire country.
Wow.
Damn.
But yet and still, the major dollars the major dollars earned in stand-up are all by black people. It's more people want to see us perform than anything, whether you African, whether you Jamaican, whether you Trini, Haitian, whether you American, African American, black. You know, they want to see black and brown people perform, and we generate the mass majority of the dollars, but there's no black-owned comedy club. Do we have a bunch of successful black-owned comics that could have a chain of comedy clubs? But then the thing is, even if you work in the black-owned comedy club, where's the upward momentum to get you to network? Because that's where you want to be. You want to be on the network. You want to be in the mix of what's going on. But if you isolate yourself away from the mix, then I'm just in your room on a hamster wheel, just constantly performing in your room. So we have to still be in the mix, and us being in the mix doesn't diminish who we are. We just got to be in the mix, and we respect you, the lighter hue, for what you do. You got to respect us for what we do. You know what I'm saying? It got to be that even balance.